What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you come in and check out the content. Today, I'm going to be talking about Caitlin Clark and Caitlin Clark, also Angel Reese. Like, I think in order for Caitlin Clark career to be like a big success, I think she needs Angel Reese. And the same way she needs Angel Reese is like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. And so, what you have here is Caitlin Clark. Everybody know Caitlin Clark has a very large base. And that's good. So if Caitlin Clark was to be successful in Indiana, without having like a rival, that would be good. That would be good for Caitlin Clark, and it would be good. It would be good for the league. You'll see some growth. But if you want to see, if the WNBA wants to really grow, they need for Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese to really have to develop a rival, because you have Angel Reese. She brings that that big city base and with her. So Angel Reese has her own base that she bring with her, and that's like the more so the big city, that urban base. Then you have Caitlin Clark. She brings a very big base too. Her base is like the small town people, small town girl, middle America type base. And so those two bases right there, like when you have two bases like that and they clash, that's going to create it's just going to create a whole lot of competition between those two bases. Like I don't know, like a lot of people may not be old enough to remember, but when the Celtics and the Lakers were going at it, like in the 80s, in the early 80s, man, that base, those two different bases right there just got crazy. I mean, it just made the league more exciting. Like I said, you had the East Coast, the Celtics, they from the Northeast. Then you had the Lakers with a more their base was like more wide open. Their style of play was more wide open. And they just went back and forth with each other. That just made basketball so much more exciting than it was like I think every year that the Lakers went to the championship, they didn't face the Celtics. And the years that they didn't face the Celtics, those, it wasn't as exciting as it was like when those two bases went at each other. And that's what I think Caitlin and Angel Reese, they will be, because they have two separate bases and their bases are different. That would just create so much more attention for the WNBA. That'll heighten the excitement, especially if they were if they met like in championships, that would just be that would really make the WNBA really just explode, because like I said, if you can take those two separate bases and have them just go at each other, Chicago's not on the East Coast, but like I said, you got a big city type vibe coming from coming from Angel Reese. You got the hometown, small town girl coming from Caitlin Clark. Those two bases will go at each other and really will create a lot of excitement between the two. I don't think, because you have had WNBA players in the past who were good. You had teams that were good, but you never had this opportunity for two separate bases. Like for instance, when you had when the WNBA first started out, you had the Houston Comets, and they they won the first 4 WNBA championships, and they had some very good players. They had Cynthia Cooper, Tina Thompson, Cheryl Swoops. They dominated for 4 years, but that didn't create, because they didn't really have a different kind of base, like an opposite type base to come at them. But now this situation that the WNBA is faced with, is just so good because you could bring two different parts of the country, two different types of basketball style to against each other. The WNBA never had that before, and I think they really need to play that situation up. So many different ways you can look at it. It's obviously you can go like the black and the white, that'll play into it. Like I said, then you have the urban, and then you'll have the small town girl, Nike versus Reebok, it's just so many different ways that this base that the WNBA can benefit from these two different, styles and of these two young ladies. And I hope that they're able to take a advantage of it. But I don't think like one without the other. I don't think one without the other will really help the NBA grow, like that, because they're not really like neither one of these. Both of these girls are really good. Both of these young ladies are really good, but I don't, they're not like dominant in the sense of like a Jordan was, where Jordan just took over the whole league. I don't see it'll be so hard for one player to do that. Either one of these players, I think both. Caitlin Clark she's like to me like a Steph Curry type ball player. But I think for somebody to take over the league like that, I think they have to be like a more of a dynamic type ball player, which I don't see. Steph Curry is not really that, that like he's a good team player, he's an excellent shooter and stuff like that, but he's not dynamic like Mike was. And I think that Caitlin Clark is the same way. She's a great team player and an excellent shooter, but I don't think either one of these young ladies are dynamic enough to captivate like the whole base or the whole league by themselves. So, but yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know, if you agree. Do you think that Caitlin Clark needs, it's almost like USA versus Russia or Rocky versus Apollo Creed. That just makes it, that really just gonna add more excitement to it when you have like a rivalry, like a passionate rivalry, two different, like I said, two different passionate bases going at each other. If you wasn't around in the early 80s to witness that, those two different bases going at each other, man, just go to YouTube or something, especially for younger people. Go to YouTube and check out, the Lakers rivalry, the Lakers and the Celtics rivalry. That rivalry was something else, man. You gotta check it out, and that's what I think the WNBA had this type of opportunity. This is an opportunity that they never really had before, to put these two different bases at each other and allow these two to go at each other like that. Angel Reese, she has at Chicago, she's doing a really good job. She hit the ground running, and I think Angel Reese is only going to get better. Same thing with Caitlin Clark. I think Caitlin Clark is going to definitely get better as soon as they can get the right pieces around her to complement her style, of play. Then then that'll be, I think. But that's what's going to come up not this year. I think Caitlin Clark is going to need an off season, and then they're going to need to bring in some people that's going to, to help her, maximize her potential. But with that being said, man, let me know if you agree. Do Caitlin Clark need a rivalry like Angel Reese in order for her, in order for the WNBA to grow? Caitlin Clark is, she always going to have her following and her base, but for the WNBA to grow, I think they need a rivalry. A rivalry would really help the WNBA. It'll just drum up so much more excitement and so much more passion between the two bases. Like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, they was very competitive with each other, and both of them wanted to win. But where the real passion came in at was those two different bases going at each other. Lakers fans arguing with Celtics fans. You know, even though I'm from the East Coast, I still, because of the style, it was more flashy, the style of play, I like the Lakers. But Boston Celtics fans, they was passionate about Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Danny Ainge, and all those guys, man. They was passionate. And just like, you know, people who like the Lakers was passionate about those. And that just made for some great entertainment. So yeah, man, let me know what y'all think. Let me know if you agree. If you think that these two young ladies can stir up that kind of passion for the WNBA. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, go to urbanplatformfashion.com. We got hoodies, long sleeve t-shirts, and short sleeve t-shirts. And with that being said, I'll check you all out on the next video. And yeah, don't forget to leave a comment. Peace.